I'll go ahead and mute everybody now. And we can get started on our backs today in Supta Baddha Konasana. So coming to lie with the soles of your feet to touch, your arms by your side, palms facing up. And just allow your eyes to begin to shut, letting the knees fall wide onto the mat. I'm just using this time now to gently warm up the hips, using gravity to allow the knees to fall deeper into the mat. Taking this time now just to connect to our breath, to arrive on our mat. Letting go of everything you did and anything you've yet to do. Placing your right hand on your belly, your left hand on top of your heart. Begin to feel your breath entering through. Noticing as you inhale, your belly rises, expands. Your chest fills. And with every exhale, you're slowly melting, grounding down onto your mat. Just work now on taking deep inhales all the way to your belly. And long and slow exhales. Just bring the awareness now to any point in your body, noticing all the connections that it makes with your mat, your shoulders, your back, maybe your sit bones, noticing the natural arch of your low back, how the outer edges of the feet are grounding down. Maybe your knees are even touching or slowly coming closer to the mat. And with your hands, you're feeling every expand of the belly, of the chest. And feeling the collapse, surrender. Letting our arms return by our sides, palms facing up. Take a deep inhale and just allow them to soften as you exhale. Noticing the natural curls of the fingers. Begin by taking 2 deep cleansing breaths. Empty out all your air. And let's take a deep inhale, filling up belly, chest, back of the throat, and holding it at the top for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Opening the mouth, exhaling, letting it all go. 1 more cleansing breath, just like that. Take a deep inhale, fill up all the way, expanding, taking up as much space in your mat as you can, and holding it at the top for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open the mouth, sigh it all out. When you're ready, just allowing your breath to return back to normal, keeping this slow and steady rhythm throughout your practice. Beginning to blink our eyes open. And on your next inhale, bring your knees towards your chest, wrapping your hands around your shins. Give yourself a nice tight little squeeze. Bringing the top of your thighs to the front, belly in your chest. And then when you're ready, on your next exhale, extending the left leg out in front. And then pressing that left heel into the mat. On your next inhale, begin to slowly straighten that right leg towards the ceiling. Option to clasp behind the thigh, behind the shin, just keeping that leg straight. If you have your strap, you want to wrap it around the ball of the right foot as you use your inhales to work on straightening the right leg, pressing the top of the right thigh towards the back of the leg. And with every exhale, you're drawing the feet a little bit closer to your front body, stretching out our hamstrings, listening to your body and taking it only as deep as it will allow you to this morning or afternoon. Actively pressing that left heel down onto the mat. Just working with the breath here. Staying here for 2 more breaths. Every inhale, keep lengthening, straightening that leg. As you exhale, can you bring it a little bit closer to your front body? And when you're ready on your next exhale, begin to slowly open the leg to the right side, letting it fall with control. But placing the left hand on your left hip, and you're keeping that left hip grounded onto the mat, the left heel as well, pressing down as your left shoulder. So from the left side of your body, you're grounded onto the mat. The only thing that is moving is the right leg. Staying here for 1 more breath. On your next inhale, begin to slowly come back up to center. And then as you exhale, letting it fall towards the left, keeping the right hip on the mat this time. So you're going for a gentle twist. Stretching out the IT band on the right side of the leg. And hands behind your shins or behind your calf. One more breath here. Staying for the exhale. And on your next inhale, bring that leg back up to center. Bend the knee, let go of the strap if you have it. And then on your next inhale, bring that left knee towards your chest. Straighten out that right leg, digging that right heel down. And then your next inhale, straightening that left leg towards the ceiling. Again, if you have a strap, ball of the foot. If not, clasping the back of the thighs or the back of the calf. If you're able to, you can hook the peace fingers onto your toes. So you want to remain focused to stretch on the back of the left hamstring. The left shoulder stays grounded down. And again, working with the breath to straighten that left leg, pressing the top of the left thigh towards the back of the leg. Staying here for a couple more breaths. Wherever you are, placing the right hand on top of the right hip. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, letting that leg fall open towards the left side, keeping that right hip grounded down onto the mat. Right heel, right shoulder. When you're ready on your next inhale, back to center. And then switching sides, grabbing wherever you are and letting it fall as you exhale towards the right side, keeping the left hip on the mat. Gently stretching out the IT band on the outer left leg. One more breath here. And when you're ready, returning the leg back to center, bend the knees. And this time, bring your knees towards your chest, grabbing it from the inside of the legs, the outer side of the foot, coming into happy baby. Trying to bring that tailbone down, and then pressing onto your feet with your hands and your hands resisting. So it's an active stretch. And then rocking side to side if that feels good. Listening to how your body is feeling today, inviting any movement that feels good. One more breath here when you're ready. You need to bring your knees back to your chest, hugging in one more time. And then with your hands behind your thighs, begin to rock back and forth, gently massaging the spine. And then coming to sit, and then meeting in tabletop. Taking a moment here to stack your hands underneath your shoulders, spreading the fingers as wide as you can, remembering to ground the knuckles of your hands, especially that, oh, can't think. Wrist creases parallel to the top of the mat. You're drawing the mat apart with your thumbs and you're hugging the outer upper arms in, checking that the knees are stacked underneath the hips. Take a moment here as you exhale to send the tailbone down, belly button to spine, let the head go. As you inhale, send the tailbone up towards the ceiling, drop the belly to the mat and gently look up. Exhale, rounding the spine, drop the tailbone, push the floor away, looking between your feet. Inhale, back into cow. Just keep going for a few more rounds. Trying to slow down the movement to mirror the breath. And when you're ready on your next inhale, meet back at tabletop. And then from here, I want you to walk your hands up so that you're kneeling down on your knees. And then just taking a moment here to make sure that your knees are underneath your hips. I want you to step out your right leg and align heel to the knee, still stacking hip over the knee. You want to press all three corners of the foot, especially the outer edge of that right foot, with your hands on your hips. On your next inhale, lift the left arm up, stretching, getting long on the left side body, placing the right hand on the outer right thigh. And as you exhale, begin to slowly kind of run that right hand down the right leg as much as you can. Going for the left side body stretch, pressing all three corners of that foot down. It's grounding. And notice when you do, you feel a stretch on the inner thigh. Remembering to lift that left shoulder blade, sending it back so you're not collapsing into the stretch. You're opening up your heart towards the ceiling. Hugging the belly in. Staying here for a couple more breaths. Using the inhale to lengthen your torso as you exhale, maybe bending down a little bit lower. One more breath, just like that. Exhale, go down just slightly. And when you're ready on your next inhale, bring that left arm back up. And then this time, hands back at your hip, coming onto the ball, the heel, so that your toes are lifted. Externally rotating the leg, still aligning heel to knee, and then stacking the hip over, the left hip over the left knee. You notice this time as you inhale, lifting the left arm. When you exhale, you slightly going over, feeling the stretch on the back of the leg, this time on the right leg. Remembering to keep sending that left shoulder back. If you need to put a slight micro bend in the knee, do what feels right for your body. You're gonna work on slowly straightening it out, pressing that right heel down onto the mat. One more breath here. And when you're ready, beginning to slowly come back up. Switching sides, so bringing that right knee underneath the right hip. Stepping out that left leg, aligning heel, left heel to right knee. So it's a nice long line. Remembering to press all three corners of the foot, so the big toe mount, the heel, and the baby toe mount. As you inhale, lift the right arm up. This time really reaching, getting long as you can on the right side of the body. Placing the left hand anywhere you like on the left leg. And then as you exhale, slowly leaning towards the left side. Remembering this time to pick up your right shoulder, send it back, open your heart, look up towards the ceiling. Hugging the belly in. My favorite cue, pretend you have to pee. With every breath, think of getting long, stretching the right side, and every exhale, can you go down a little bit, lower down that leg. When you're ready on your next inhale, bring the arm up. Nice, graceful dancer, arm by your side. Coming into externally rotating the left foot this time. Ball of the foot, dig that in. Take an inhale here, lifting the right arm up, getting long again as you exhale, pressing that heel down as much as you can onto the mat. Coming down again, stretching the back side of the leg, underside, so hamstrings again are active. Reaching towards the front of the room. One more breath here. When you're ready, returning back to center. And then bringing your foot back, coming to stand at the top of our mats. For a little flow, get the body going. So standing with your feet hip distance apart for Tadasana, rooting all three corners down. Pick up the arches and then noticing the active feet. Bring the toes back down, trying to keep those arches feet active. Sending the kneecaps towards the hips, firing the quads, the tailbone points towards the heels. Engaging Mula Bandha. So again, draw the pelvic floor up, pretending you have to pee. And then you send the sternum away from your pubic bone. You're nice and tall, drawing the lower ribs into your hips. Strong active belly, head of the armrest up and back. As you inhale, lift the arms up overhead, grabbing the left wrist with your right hand, reaching it long. And as you exhale, folding towards the right side. Again, not collapsing inward, so you're sending that left shoulder back. On your next inhale, coming back to center, switching sides. So this time, left wrist grabbing, left hand grabbing the right wrist. Reaching, getting long before you exhale and fold to the left. Send that right arm shoulder back. Your next inhale, coming back to center. And as you exhale, bring your heart to your center. This time, lifting the hip points up towards your chest, rotating the pelvis. As you inhale, coming into a baby back bend. Exhale, fold over the legs. Feel free to invite a gentle bend in the knees. Then working again with every breath as you inhale to slowly straighten the legs. And then leading with your heart down towards the mat. Your hands can rest on your shins, your feet, or the mat. As you inhale, come up halfway. Flat back. Long stick from the tailbone all the way to the crown of your head. And as you exhale, bow down over the legs. Inhale to rise all the way. Extend your mouth and hands reach towards the ceiling. You're drawing the lower ribs in. And as you exhale, open the arms, fanning them, clasping them behind your back. Once the hands are clasped, press the shoulder blades, opening up the chest, squeezing the blades together behind you. Take an inhale here to get long fill up. And as you exhale, bow over the legs, hinging from the hips, letting the hands come up towards the ceiling. Taking a few breaths here. Every exhale, drawing the lower ribs towards the hips. On your next inhale, release the hands, come up halfway. And as you exhale, plant the hands down, step back into plank. And plank, engaging as we did in Tadasana, hugging that belly in, firing the quads, heels stacked over your toes, hugging the outer upper arms in, drawing the mat apart with your thumbs, and then making sure that the knuckles of your fingers and the fingertips are grounding down onto the mat. And when you're ready, rock onto your tippy toes. And then slowly as you exhale, bend the elbows coming down onto your belly as slow as you can. Pointing the toes so much that the kneecaps are lifting. Hugging the elbows in as you peel your head, neck, and shoulder in your inhale. And as you exhale, bowing down, back, forehead to the mat. Staying here one more time for Cobra. Inhale, come up. Exhale down one more time. Coming up one more time into Cobra, maybe coming to the full expression. Making sure that your kneecaps are lifted, your pubic bone is pressing onto the mat. Your gaze is looking straight. Exhale, bowing down. This time, tuck your toes. Push onto the hands. Send the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Check that the feet are hip distance. And maybe pedal out the feet. Sending the heels down. Again, if you feel like wiggling your hips, rocking side to side. Listening to what your body needs. Coming still in our first down dog. On your next inhale, lift the right leg up. Three-legged dog, squaring the hips, toes are pointing down. You're kicking an imaginary wall with the right foot as you draw the left heel down to the mat. Take an inhale here, and on your next exhale, bend the knee, stacking the right hip over, open up. One more breath here. And as you exhale, coming back into three-legged dog, take a moment to square yourself. Inhale here, and as you exhale, bring the right knee behind the right wrist, right foot behind the left wrist. If it's parallel, flex the foot. If not, point the toes, scooting that left leg back, pointing the toes of the back foot if you want to check. Send the right hip back, the left hip forward, squaring yourself up. Take an inhale, get long with your spine. And as you exhale, slowly walking the hands out in front, surrendering to the earth, making a pillow with your forearms for your head, staying on your forearms. If this is as far as you're going today, or reaching all the way down, so remember to press the pinky toenail into the mat, internally rotate that leg, ensuring that our hips remain square. Great opportunity now to check in with the breath. Taking deep inhales, long and slow exhales. Allowing the breath to calm the mind. Softening where there's tension. Maybe breathing into the right hip. When you're ready, with the help of your hands in your next inhale, walking yourself back to center. This time coming onto our left forearm, so dropping down, placing the left hand on the right knee, and then press the hand onto the knee and the knee into the hand. And then maybe if you have a strap, we're gonna bend the left leg, grabbing it with the right hand, and then begin to press that foot towards the left glute, feeling the stretch on the front of the left leg. We're stretching the quad. And then once you've got your foot, if you need the help with the straw or strap or the towel, try to see if you can square your shoulders towards the front of the room, but don't let that foot come in. Keep it in line with the left tush. checking in again with your breath, maybe really disliking the pose. See if you can breathe in, slow the exhale, staying a little longer. One more breath here. And when you're ready, on your next exhale, releasing the left foot, both hands to the mat, tucking the back toes under, sending yourself back into downward facing dog. Take a moment here, maybe pedal out the feet. And when you're ready, coming still, taking a deep inhale, lifting the left leg up this time. And then as you exhale, oops, sorry, we're staying in three-legged dog, couple breaths. So work on kicking the imaginary back wall so that left foot is active. And you're drawing the heel, the right heel down to the mat. Your hands, your fingers are spread wide. You're still drawing the mat apart with your thumbs, noticing how that engages the lower part of your forearms, and the outer upper arms in, so your triceps are in for the run. One more breath here, and as you exhale, bend the knees, stacking the left hip over the right, this time opening up. Remember to pick up that right shoulder so we're not collapsing in, remaining square. One more breath here. And as you exhale, rocking back into three-legged dog, toes are pointing down. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring the left knee behind the left wrist this time, left foot behind the right wrist. Just helping it out. Or maybe you're pointing the toes, but if the shin is parallel, remember to flex it to protect the knee. Scooting the right foot back as far as it'll go. Send the left hip back, the right hip forward. Inhale to get long. And as you exhale, bow down to the earth. Letting the head go. And pressing the top of the pinky toenail on the right foot into the mat. Hanging out for 2 more breaths. Using the exhales to soften where you feel tension. And when you're ready, on your next inhale, slowly with the help of your hands, walking yourself back up. And then the sun coming onto a right forearm, right hand on top of the left knee, pressing onto each other, and then bending that right knee towards your glute, grabbing it with the left hand, and then remembering to bring that right foot towards the right glute. Once you've got that down, square your shoulders towards the front and keep squeezing that in. Hugging the belly. Just take a moment to check that the leg is not tracking inward, so it's not going towards the left side, it's staying in line with the right leg, right glute. One more breath here. And on your next exhale, releasing that right leg. Coming onto our hands, setting up, tucking the back toes, meeting back in downward facing dog. Down dog, remember to draw the lower ribs in. You're pushing onto the hands, sending the heels down so the legs are active. And then as you inhale, your next exhale, bend the knees, look towards the hands, walk or hop to the top of the mat, meeting in forward fold. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to bow down. On your next inhale, step the right foot back, coming into a lunge. Staying on the ball of the back foot, or option to come onto your knee. So low lunge or crescent lunge option today. Grounding all 3 corners of the left foot, especially that big toe mound, stacking the left knee over the left ankle. On your next inhale, lift the arms up overhead, rise. Squeezing the thighs towards the midline. Hip points are square towards the front. And wherever you are, breathing in. If that back foot is up, you're sending the top of the right thigh towards the back, straightening that leg. One breath here. And as you exhale, look down, frame the left foot with your hands, step back into plank. From plank, option to chaturanga all the way down to your belly. As you inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, tuck the toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting the right leg up. And as you exhale, knee to nose hug in. Look between your hands, step the foot. Get an option to drop the foot down. If you're coming in for a low lunge or staying with the back leg active. Take a breath to root all three corners of the right foot, checking the alignment, knee over heel. And as you inhale, rise, squeezing the thighs towards each other. Gazing softly straight ahead so your spine is long. One more breath here, and as you exhale, frame the feet with your hands. This time stepping the left foot to meet the right. Coming back to fold. Inhale to come up halfway, flat back. Exhale, bow over your legs. Root the feet, inhale to rise, extended mountain. And as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Again, tilting the hip points, so slight movement in the pelvis. Feeling it go back. Protects your low back. As you back bend, inhale, come up. And as you exhale, bowing down over the legs. Inhale into your flat back, hands on your shins or your thighs. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back. Again, choosing your spot. Inhale to rise. Breathing in here, low lunge or crescent lunge, wherever you are. I want you to lunge deeper into that front knee. Keeping your hands on your thighs if you want to press them down, feeling the stretch on the front of the right quad, or your arms can be lifted. Gazing straight ahead. One more breath here. Exhale, frame the foot, step back into plank. Chaturanga all the way down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, step the right foot through in between. Crescent lunge or low lunge option. Breath here. And as you exhale, lunge deeper into that leg, firing that back leg if it's up. One breath here. Exhale, frame the foot, step left foot in, back to fold. Inhale, come up, flat back. Exhale, bow down. This time, plant the hands, stepping back into plank. From here, take a moment, bring your toes to touch, squeeze the belly in. And as you exhale, rocking onto the outside of the right foot, feet are flexed, firing up the legs. Inhale to lift the left arm up and the hips along with it. Hugging the outer upper arm on the right side, firing that tricep. Option to stay here, or option to pick up that foot. One breath here. When you're ready, wherever you are, rocking back into plank. Take an inhale. Stay for the exhale, bring your big toes to touch if they're not already. On your next inhale, rolling onto the outside of the left foot, firing the left tricep. Right arm up towards the ceiling, as well as the hips. Feet are flexed, active all the way down, squeezing the thighs towards each other. Whatever you did on the other side, if you picked up that foot, go ahead and do it now. And when you're ready, rocking back into plank. This time bring your big toes to touch your knees wide on the mat and take a child's pose. Hip bones towards your heels, forehead to the mat. Arms can reach out in front, or you can let them rest by your sides with the fingers gracing the feet. Using this time to check in with the breath. Noticing the expansion of the ribs. When you're ready, walking your hands back, meeting back at the top of our mats into Tadasana. Checking again on our feet, hip distance, firing all the way from your toes. Your arches are engaged, your quads are fired up. Tailbone down. You're still pretending you have to pee, or maybe you do. Lifting the arms up as you reach. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. This time as you inhale, lift the arms up again, shift your weight towards your heels, coming into chair pose, Utkatasana. Pressing the front of the shins towards the back, shifting the weight. Maybe picking up the toes, or you're squeezing the thighs towards each other as your arms lift. Catching that beach ball. Your tailbone is tucked in, so we're not arching your spine. Long and neutral from your sit bones to the crown of your head. Can you sit a little lower? You're like, no, get off me. It's your practice. The challenge is extended. Go where you can. And on your next inhale, stay. Exhale, bow down over the legs. Yes. Inhale to come up halfway. And as you exhale, step the right foot back. But we're stepping at a 45-degree angle, so the toes are pointing inwards and to the side. And as you inhale, lunging into that front leg, coming to warrior one. Grounding all three corners of that back foot. So it's fired up, quads are pressing into the top. Squeezing the thighs towards each other will help your balance, but the main focus here is to square the hips towards the front. So many cues. We're hanging here for a bit. So inhale, get long. Exhale, lunge deeper. Have the option here to lift the hip points towards the chest, coming into a back bend if that feels good. One more breath here, and as you exhale, frame the left foot, step back into plank. Plank as you exhale, lower all the way down, or chaturanga. Take your flow, come up halfway, back bend, Cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time, as you inhale, lifting the left leg, stepping it in between the hands, and then dropping the back foot parallel to the mat. Inhale to rise into warrior two. Aligning heel to arch, launching deeper into that left leg, not tracking inwards, left knee stacked on top of the left ankle. Heels are drawing like magnets towards each other. One breath here. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat, step back into plank. And send yourself back into down dog. And as you inhale, step the right leg up. Exhale, step it through. Warrior one, foot 45-degree angles. So take a step in, set it up. Heels are pointing in. The outer leg foot is pointing to the outside. Inhale to rise, square the hips forward. Lunging deeper into that leg and grounding all three corners of that back foot. If you need to step the heel out a little bit to the right to help with balance, if not, heel to heel alignment. And again, option to lift the hip points to tilt the pelvis and go for a little back bend. When you're ready, as you exhale, stepping back into plank. Lower chaturanga, all the way down. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lifting the right leg up. Stepping it through. Warrior two alignment. So back heel parallel to the back of the mat. Heel to arch as you come up. Think of sending the right sit bone towards the left heel. The left kneecap towards the hip. So your back leg is your anchor. One more breath here. And as you exhale, cartwheel the hands back to another flow. And then meeting back in downward facing dog. We're on your next exhale, bend the knees, look towards the hands, walk or hop to the top of the mat. Back to forward fold, grabbing opposite elbows. For ragdoll, rocking side to side. Shake the head, yes. Shaking it now. When you're ready on your next inhale, come up halfway, hands to your shin, flat back. Exhale, bow over your legs. Root the feet as you inhale to rise. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. This time on your next inhale, bring your right knee towards your chest, dropping the right hip down. Taking a moment here with your hands on your hips and stork pose. And then when you're ready, as you exhale, begin to kick that right foot back, lifting from the inner hip, flexing your torso forward until you come into a warrior three, toes pointing down, kicking an imaginary back wall. Your hands can be in front for a bigger challenge, prayer pose, or on your hips. If in prayer, you're pressing the hands towards each other, firing that belly. The left quad is engaged, so you're pressing the top of the left thigh towards the back. Woo. The second I did that, I fell off, but again, follow you, come back. One more breath here. And then when you're ready, with control, coming back, bringing knee up towards chest, back into stork pose. Staying here, left hand, left hip, right hand, right knee, open up. Remembering to keep the hips square towards the front, and you're opening up towards the right side. Option to stay here, option to hook your peace fingers onto the right toes and straighten out that leg. Wherever you are, one more breath. Firing the belly, and then coming back to center. Inhale, exhale, release the foot. Give the left leg a nice shake. Shifting weights towards the right side, so grounding especially through that right big toe mouth. Take an inhale, bring the left knee towards your chest. Dropping the left hip down, hips are squared, and then line. Take a breath here, firing that left leg, hug the belly. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, begin to kick that left leg back, flexing the torso forward, going as slow as you need to, dropping the left hip once you're up. Tendencies to want to lift. And again, wherever you are, hands at the hips, hands to your heart. Going for a bigger challenge, extending them up to the front. And wherever you are, your next inhale, slowly coming back, bringing the left knee back up, finding our balance, fixing our gaze on the spot. And then when you're ready, right hand, right hip, left hand, left knee, opening up, staying square to the front. Inhale here, again, option, whatever you did on one side, try to do it on the other side. Maybe give it a try if you fall off. Nobody's watching. Staying here, maybe extending the leg out, keeping the spine long if you are. Firing the belly. When you're ready, knee back to center. Exhale to release. Shake that foot out. Coming back, top of the mat, Tadasana pose. Inhale to lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, bring the arms again behind your back, clasping the hands. Open up the chest. Inhale, get long. Exhale, bow over, letting the hands come up to the ceiling. Couple more breaths here. And when you're ready, exhaling, releasing the hands towards the mat. Coming up halfway on your breath in. Exhale, step back into plank. From plank again, all the way down or chaturanga. Last flow. Inhale to come up, Cobra or up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Staying here for a couple breaths. Take a deep inhale, fill up all the way. Open the mouth. Let it out. And when you're ready, bend the knees, look towards the hands, walk or hop, top of the mat. And here, shifting your weight towards the heels as you inhale, coming back into chair pose. Exhale, going a little bit deeper, squeezing in like you have a block in between your thighs. Tailbone draws down. Then when you're ready, shift the weight towards the left foot, especially that big toe mat, and then crossing the right knee over the left. Hooking the foot, staying in a kickstand. Maybe you're dropping it down for support. Inhale, get long. And as you exhale, bring the left elbow over the right, clasping the hands, or hands to your shoulders. Wherever you are, hug that belly in. And as you exhale, see if you can bend, so you can bring the elbows towards your knees for sleeping eagle. One more breath here. Slowly with control as you inhale, coming back up. Exhale, release back into chair pose. One more breath here. Shift the weight over to the right side and crossing the left knee over the right. And again, choose kickstands, letting the foot fly or crossing it over. One side might be different than the other. Hug the belly, squeeze, and then crossing the right elbow over the left this time. Hands to clasp or on your shoulders. You're lifting the elbows as high as you can, and you're shifting them away from your face. Shoulder blades away from your back and in opposite directions. And then as you're ready, as you exhale, elbows towards your knees. Squeezing the thighs in. Now we're ready. On your next inhale, slowly come back up. And exhale, back to chair pose. What? Sitting a little bit lower. We're almost there, guys. And then when you're ready, as you exhale, bowing down, over. Inhale to come up halfway. And this time as you exhale, bend the knees, coming all the way to finally sit. Yay. And then bringing soles of your feet to touch as close to your groin as you can. One of my favorite stretches. Big toe mounts pressing onto each other, feeling the inner thighs activate. Take a breath to get long. Hands again can be behind you, behind your hips. And then as you exhale, think of hinging from the hips as you fold over your legs. Your hands are all grasping your ankles or your feet. You can use them to help you guide yourself a little bit lower. Just keep pressing the feet together. Hi, puppy. Go away. Interference. Using your breath. Every inhale long through the spine. Every exhale, can you go down a little bit deeper? And you're ready on your next inhale, coming back up. Extending the legs out in front. And coming to lie on your back. Bringing your knees towards your chest, hugging in. Squeezing yourself into a tight little ball. Noticing if you feel any difference, maybe rocking side to side, massage the back. I definitely feel more limber now. And then when you're ready, arms to cactus by your side, your shins are parallel to the mat. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you're gonna lower towards the right side, but not all the way. So you're hugging the belly in. We're doing an active supine stretch. Your gaze remains towards the ceiling, squeezing the knees towards each other. We're just holding here for a couple breaths. And you're ready on your next inhale, coming back to center, squeeze the knees in. And as you exhale, rocking halfway towards the left. So your knees are hovering, your feet are flexed. The right shoulder remains grounded down onto the mat. Doing a little bit of core work here. And when you're ready, coming back to center, taking a breath in. Using the exhale to lower halfway towards the right again. Keep squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. The left shoulder is grounding down, so going only as far as you can while keeping that left shoulder down on the mat. And coming back up. Breath in, fill up. Exhale, using the fuel, going to the left. We're on our reserves now. Squeezing the inner thighs towards each other as you inhale, coming back up to center. And this time as you exhale, going all the way down. Knees towards the mat. If you have a block, you have the option to bring in between your thighs or a pillow or anything you've got that just feels good. Letting the gaze fall towards the left side. And our breath, allowing it to return back to normal. No longer doing any work. Surrendering into a spinal twist, which is great for low back pain, for detoxing your organs. You might notice if you hold this for a long time, you might have to use the washroom after. True story. When you're ready, on your next inhale, hugging the knees in, coming back to center. And then as you exhale, letting them fall all the way towards the left side. Your gaze falls towards the right. Option to bring the left hand on the outer right thigh, or to place a block in between the thighs. Wherever you are, allowing your eyes to close. And then when you're ready on your next inhale, coming back to center. And this time, if you have access to a wall, I'm gonna have you rock back and forth. We're gonna do a shoulder stretch. If not, you can do it on your mat. We're gonna come up and flop you onto your belly, extending your arms into a T, and then bringing your right cheek towards the mat, your left fingertips planting them in front of your face. And then as you exhale, rocking onto the side of your right, stepping the left foot back behind you, pressing onto the left hands until you feel a nice stretch on your shoulder, your right shoulder. Hanging out here for a few breaths. And when you're ready, rolling yourself back, forehead to the mat, standing on the left arm so that it's straight, wrist in line with the shoulder. And then bringing the left cheek down onto the mat, rolling onto the side of your left body, stepping the right foot behind you. Tenting the right fingertips until you press them back as much as you want. So you get that nice shoulder release on the left. Feels great after all the chaturangas. And then when you're ready, forehead back to the mat, top of your hands coming back to sit. And then if you have the option to go for legs up the wall on your mat, for our Shavasana, find a space, bringing the hips as close to the mat, the right hip or the left, and then with the help of your hands, kicking your feet up, and then coming to lie on your back, scooting yourself, your sit bone as close to the wall as you can, and then letting the feet, heels rest on the mat, arms by your side, palms facing up. You have the option here to let the legs straight or letting them straddle open as much as you can. Listening again to what your body needs. But wherever you are, you want to get long. Think of getting long from the top of your head, straight long spine all the way to your sit bones. Or if you're in Shavasana, maybe tucking your shoulders in so your chest lifts slightly. And then allowing your eyes to close. Let's take a couple of cleansing breaths before we close the practice. Taking a deep inhale, filling up belly, chest, back of the throat. Taking an extra sip of air, holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open the mouth. And just taking a moment now to bring this awareness to your body. Checking in. Scanning from the top of your head. Noticing the space between your brows if it's furrowed. Allowing the tongue to fall off the palate. Feeling the connection with the back of the skull and the mat. And noticing as your head gets heavier and softens. The front of your body melted towards the back of the mat like butter. following every inhale and every exhale. Maybe bringing the awareness to the tip of your nose, observing the quality of the air. Noticing as the air flows in, it's nice and cool. And as it exits your body, it gets warmer. Maybe noticing if your mind wanders, and just bring it back to the breath without judgment. Imagining yourself as an observer, watching the thoughts flow. Beginning now to slowly invite movement back into your body, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. On your next inhale, extending the arms over and behind you, reaching as much as you can with the fingertips. And as you exhale, wherever you are, slowly bringing the knees towards your chest. Using the next exhale to roll over into one side, making a pillow with your forearm. Taking a moment here to pause and remembering to honor the pauses in your breath. Trying to keep this calm energy you've created and allowing it to follow you throughout the day. When you're ready, on your next inhale, with the help of your hands, slowly coming back into a nice, comfortable seated posture. Your eyes can remain closed or half closed. Grounding through our sit bones, getting long through our spine. Crown of the head seems nice and tall on top of your hips. Take a deep inhale, lift the arms, reach overhead. And as you exhale, bring your hands to touch and in prayer. Bowing our heads, tucking our chin. Taking this time to thank yourself for coming out today. And allowing me now to thank you for your time and energy. Sending you light, love, and above all, health. Together we bow and say, Namaste.